You know how the internet just loves a good celebrity rumor? It's like 1 minute everything's fine.
And the next, there's this whole elaborate story blowing up online about someone's private life. It's wild.
Totally. But what I find really admirable is when some couples just seem to handle it so well. Like they roll their eyes, maybe crack a joke.
And they face it together with humor. It's definitely a skill managing that kind of public focus.
It really is. Especially when, a tiny bit of speculation can just balloon into something huge and often completely baseless.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's pretty much what we're getting into today. We're taking a deep dive into the recent buzz around Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds.
Ah, yes, those rumors. Specifically the ones about a supposed affair way back during Green Lantern filming.
That's the one.
Yeah.
And this connected narrative about a company being a sham or something. It's interesting.
And we're basing this exploration on an article from dailymail.com, which seems to have done quite a bit of digging into the specifics.
Right. So our mission here isn't just to, repeat gossip. We want to unpack where these rumors might have actually started.
See what the article actually says, compare the timelines.
Exactly. And look at how Blake and Ryan tend to handle this kind of stuff, plus uncover some, frankly, surprising details about the company involved.
Okay, let's get into it. The affair rumors, where do they stem from this time?
So the article points out they've resurfaced, and it seems tied to this company, Vanzan Inc.
Right, Vanzan Inc. And its formation date, September 2010.
Yeah, and the significance is that's pretty much exactly when Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds met on the set of The Green Lantern.
Okay, so you can see how that timing alone would get people's attention online, cause speculation.
Oh, absolutely. The internet detectives went straight to work, didn't they? The article mentions theories about the name Vanzan itself.
Ah, the name theories. Like Van for Vancouver, where Reynolds is from. He uses Van City online, right?
Exactly. And then Zan supposedly for Tarzana, which a podcast host mentioned in the article claimed was Blake Lively's hometown. It feels almost too neat,
It does sound like the kind of breadcrumb trail people love to follow in these situations. Very conspiracy theory friendly.
And then the article points out the timing of their other relationships ending just added more fuel.
Right. Reynolds was still married to Scarlett Johansson at that point. Their divorce wasn't filed until December 2010.
And Lively reportedly broke up with Penn Badgley just a month after Vanzan was formed in September.
So you line all that up, and okay, you can see how the narrative forms, even if it's built on shaky ground.
Totally. But this is where the dailymail.com article throws a bit of a curveball.
Okay. What did they find?
Well, their investigation apparently found that Blake Lively didn't actually get involved with Vanzan Inc. until several years after it was first set up.
Oh. So that crucial timing link, the company forming right when they met, it doesn't really apply to her involvement.
Seems not. That kind of pulls the rug out from under that specific angle of the rumor, doesn't it?
It definitely complicates the neat timeline. So what was the deal with Vanzan originally?
The article says it was actually first incorporated way earlier, back in 2008, in Delaware.
2008, so well before Lively and Reynolds even crossed paths.
Right. And it only filed to do business in California in September 2010. So the company existed before the whole Green Lantern situation.
Okay, so what was its purpose back then, if not a secret celebrity love nest company?
Apparently, it was set up by a guy named Eric Rothschild. And the article says it was meant to be a vehicle for his telesales and marketing business.
Telesales and marketing. A bit less glamorous than the rumors suggested.
Just a bit. And there's this funny little anecdote in the piece from someone involved back then.
Oh, yeah.
About the name Vanzan. Apparently, they just picked it because it sounded, and I quote, official and cool and old East Coast money.
Seriously, that's it. Not some coded message about Vancouver and Tarzana.
No. Just marketing vibes, it seems. Which is, quite a contrast to the later speculation.
It really is. It paints a picture of a pretty mundane, maybe even slightly chaotic beginning for this company name.
Well, chaotic might be the right word. The article then details the original Vanzan Inc.'s rather troubled history.
Trouble how?
Lawsuits. Apparently, it got sued for not following through on an office lease, and there were other legal issues in San Diego around 2010, 2011.
Okay, so not smooth sailing from the start.
Not at all. One company even won a judgment against Vanzan for $100,000 in June 2011. So real legal problems early on.
Wow. And what about the guy who started it, Rothschild?
It's messier. The article mentions he filed for bankruptcy in 2012, and it came out he'd used multiple names, aliases.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Plus, the Federal Trade Commission, the FTC, had a civil case against him back in 2010 over consumer data laws.
Okay, so this original Vanzan had some serious baggage, completely unrelated to Lively and Reynolds.
Exactly. At the time it was founded and running into trouble, they weren't involved. But then, the story shifts again.
How so?
California records show the original Vanzan became inactive in 2013. But then, a 2021 filing pops up. And it lists Blake Reynolds, Blake Lively's married name, as the CEO, secretary, and CFO.
Oh, so they did get involved eventually. Much later, it sounds like.
Much later. And the business address listed, New York City, it matches Ryan Reynolds' own business management firm's address.
Interesting. So they took over the name somehow or revived it. The article also mentioned another Vanzan Inc., right?
Yeah, good point.
Oh.
One set up in New York in 2019, registered at that same Manhattan office. It's like the name itself has had a few lives.
It really makes you wonder what actually happened. Did they buy the old defunct company shell? Or just reuse the name?
The article quotes someone who knew the original Vanzan, basically saying nobody with a brain would have bought the original company with all its legal issues.
Which strongly suggests their Vanzan is likely a later reincarnation, as the article puts it. Or maybe they just bought the expired corporate name rights.
Right. Either way, it seems pretty clear the timing doesn't support those initial affair rumors tied to the 2010 formation date.
Okay, so that angle seems debunked by the investigation. But Vanzan Inc. is still relevant now, just for a different reason.
Exactly. Now we get to the whole sham lawsuit narrative and the connection to Justin Baldoni.
Right, her co-star from It Ends With Us.
Correct. The article explains that this Vanzan Inc., the one linked to Lively now, is the entity she used to file a lawsuit back in September 2024.
And what was the lawsuit aiming to do?
It was filed to subpoena Baldoni's former publicist, a woman named Stephanie Jones. Lively was apparently seeking text messages.
Text messages for what purpose?
To support her claim, according to the article, that Baldoni was running some kind of smear campaign against her.
Wow, okay. That's quite an accusation and a serious legal move.
Definitely. And the article notes Baldoni completely denies this and is actually countersuing her for defamation.
So it's a proper legal fight unfolding.
For sure. And the timing is interesting, too. This lawsuit surfaced after the It Ends With Us movie premieres in August 2024.
The movie they both starred in.
Right. The summons was dated September 27th, about 7 weeks after the premiere.
And the article mentioned something about how the lawsuit was filed initially.
Yeah, use the word clandestinely. Apparently, it didn't name any defendants at first, which the article suggests might have been an attempt to keep it quiet.
Okay, that just adds another layer of drama to the whole thing. It's like Vanzan Inc. went from being part of one unfounded rumor to the center of a very real public legal battle.
It's quite the journey for a company name. Now, it is crucial to point out here.
What's that?
Throughout this whole DailyMail.com piece, there are no direct quotes from Blake Lively or Ryan Reynolds about these specific things, the old affair rumors, or the history of Vanzan Inc.
Right. The article is based on the Mail's investigation and that podcast host's speculation, not the couple's commentary on this round of gossip.
Exactly. So when we talk about their witty, united response, that's more about their general track record, how they usually team up, use humor, and shut down gossip publicly.
Yeah, their typical public persona when dealing with rumors, rather than a specific statement reported in this article about this situation.
Precisely. The article is focused on the digging, the timeline, the facts around the company itself.
Got it. So, wrapping this up, what are the main things to take away?
Well, first, those old affair rumors seem linked to the timing of Vanzan's original California filing and when they met.
But the investigation suggests Lively's actual involvement came much later, with a company name that already had a complicated, unrelated past.
Right. And second, that same company name, Vanzan Inc., is now smack in the middle of this very real, very public legal dispute between Lively and Justin Baldoni.
It really shows how narratives can form around coincidences, doesn't it? And how they can shift over time.
Totally. Based on maybe limited info or just timing that looks suspicious until you dig a little deeper.
It really does make you think about the challenge for public figures trying to manage privacy and perception when information, true or not, spreads so fast online.
Constantly under the microscope. It's a lot.
Yeah. So a fascinating look at how these stories evolve.
Definitely. And hey, if you found this deep dive into the details interesting,
like piecing together the timeline and the company history,
then definitely follow our work And like the video for more explorations like this, getting into the stories behind the headlines.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more updates on this developing story.